Hello, comrades. So, who's here for the free philosophy lesson, huh? I assume you read the title, right? If not, please take this time to move your eyes like 4 inches down. Also, because of the sheer size of the topic at hand, then the sheer magnitude of it, and my complete ineptitude at doing any of this, it's most likely going to be a series, this being episode 1. But enough chatter, let's get going already. Alright. So determinism, in the most basic sense, is a philosophical line of thought that posits all events, choices, and actions are completely determined by previously existing conditions. What does that mean? Well, the short and dirty explanation is that it means you don't really have any free will, at least not in the way you're probably thinking anyway. You may think you're in control of the choices you make, but in reality, all things that lead up to this exact moment are what made that choice. You are but a log floating down a river, trapped within the currents of life. Poetic, yeah? Now, before we crack into that egg, I feel important to mention that when I say determinism, I can mean literally any number of different philosophical tendencies, from predeterminism to fatalism, but those are topics for a later date and are not what I'm talking about today. No. Today, we are going to focus more on a tendency I have a bit more experience in, as it's the mode of thought I myself follow: hard determinism. So, hard determinism. Why is it so hard? Why did I say it like that? All these questions and more will be answered in a minute, except for that last one, as it has more to do with my dysfunctional sense of humor than the topic at hand. Hard determinism is an offshoot of casual determinism. Stop! Okay, I made a mistake. So this is being recorded after the fact, while I'm editing right now, hence why you can hear my fan. I made a boo-boo. I said casual determinism when I meant to say causal determinism. Alright, just fix that. Causal determinism, not casual. I don't know why I said that, but now we all have to live with my mistake. Fantastic. Back to the show. And is referring specifically to nomological determinism. It focuses heavily on the idea that determinism is true and it is completely incompatible with free will. It's called hard determinism because a philosopher by the name of William James had a lecture in 1884 that was published, and it coined the terms hard and soft determinism. Soft determinism now being called compatibilism. Compatibilism. Words, I swear.
That's great and all, but that's a lot of big words that sounded confusing and boring. Why are you so bad at explaining things that Hank Green explained in 5 minutes? And why do I smell copper?
Well, first off, ow, my feelings. This is the first time I've done this, so cut me some slack. And secondly, go see a doctor if you're smelling copper for no reason, please. However, the me with the weird voice is correct. He has a point. These are big, boring terms, so let's break them down quickly. Causal determinism is effectively the idea that all things happen due to an unbroken causal chain, going back to the beginning of the universe. Nothing in the universe is uncaused or self-caused. Nomological determinism is, as described by everyone's favorite free encyclopedia, quote, the most common form of causal determinism. It is the notion that the past and the present dictate the future entirely and necessarily by rigid natural laws, that every occurrence results inevitably from prior events. And compatibilism is the idea that free will and determinism are not logically inconsistent. It is the idea that one's will is just another variable in the deterministic universe. Okay, so now that we have a bit of knowledge under our belts, let's go over an example scenario. Imagine that you are a 9-year-old and you've been saving up for the new Pokemon card set that just came out because it's the 90s now and everyone's doing that. But then you hear an ice cream truck come by and you're left with a choice. Buy the ice cream now but be unable to afford the new card set that comes out tomorrow, or miss out on one of your favorite treats as everyone else goes to get some of that tasty condensed cow juice. Seems like a pretty clear example of a decision that you need to make, and it feels as if you have control over your actions, right? Well, let's look at this a bit deeper. You grew up in a poor family. Growing up to this point, you've gotten used to not getting what you want immediately and saving up for your goals. Hell, your family even has a savings jar that everyone throws the spare change they find into, and when it gets filled, you all go out to eat at Red Lobster because that's fancy for your family. You were raised to be frugal and only buying what you really want. Everyone around you encourages behavior. You also made a promise with a friend to go to the release event for this new set of cards. Maybe your mother also told you no ice cream this week because that time earlier this week on Monday when you were caught snacking in the middle of the night, so you're kind of half grounded, but not really. For all these reasons and possibly many, many more, you were always going to buy the cards. You were never going to pick the ice cream. The choice itself was an illusion. But if every choice can be said to not be really your choice, what are the possible implications for ethics? What of the mental and psychological effects on your everyday person? Well, I'm glad you asked the same very specific question I wrote into my script, comrade. It makes my life a little easier, honestly. However, we can talk about that together in the next video. I want these to be in a bit of a quick, rapid fire kind of style, so I can kind of keep up with putting them out in a time frame I feel comfortable in, so I don't feel rushed. In the meantime, though, ask any questions or put any suggestions in the comments below, or you can find me on Twitter at the Twitter handle above, at @nonapplicableA. I will be sure to answer all of them in a follow-up video after the series is over. The next video should be out in a week or so, maybe sooner with any luck. Other than that, have a great day. I hope to be seeing more of you all real soon. Bye-bye.